Chosen one, God hid you for a reason. Now it's your time to rise. That stirring in your spirit, that fire flickering in your chest, it's not random. It's not coincidence. It's heaven's alarm clock ringing through the chaos of your life, waking you to a truth so powerful it could shake the foundations of your soul. You weren't overlooked. You weren't forgotten. You were hidden, strategically, purposefully, divinely, tucked away in the shadow of God's hand. Forged in the quiet, refined in the unseen, for a moment that's crashing into your reality right now. This isn't just another message. This is your divine wake-up call. Before this hour passes, before you click away, God is whispering, the season of hiding is over. Your time to rise has begun. Why does your heart feel heavy with anticipation? Why do your hands tremble as you hold this device? Because deep in your spirit, you know this moment was written in eternity's ink before you took your first breath. You're not here by accident. You're standing at the edge of your divine purpose. And heaven is holding its breath, waiting to see if you'll step into the destiny that's been calling your name since the stars were hung in the sky. Let me ask you something that might sting. Have you ever felt invisible? Like the world moved on without you? Like your prayers were swallowed by silence? Like your dreams were buried under the weight of closed doors and missed opportunities? You've watched others step into their moments, promotions handed to those less qualified, relationships blooming for those who seemed less faithful, breakthroughs landing in the laps of those who barely prayed. And you've been waiting, wondering if God forgot your address, if your name slipped through the cracks of heaven's registry. But here's the truth that will set your spirit ablaze. You weren't forgotten. You were hidden. Every tear you've cried in secret, every door that slammed in your face, every season of silence wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God wasn't ignoring you. He was shielding you, sculpting you, refining you in the crucible of the unseen, for a purpose so magnificent it required the quiet to forge it. Psalm 31:20 declares, "You hide them in the secret place of your presence from the plots of man." That's you, chosen one. God hid you, not to break you, but to build you into something unstoppable. This video unveils a truth that will reframe every moment of your life. Your deepest struggles, your quiet seasons, your hidden battles were the very forge where God crafted your destiny. The world saw you as overlooked, but heaven saw you as under construction. The enemy thought your isolation would destroy you, but God was using it to design you. Think about Joseph, thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, forgotten in a prison for a crime he didn't commit. For 13 years he was hidden, his gifts ignored, his dreams mocked, his life seemingly stalled. But Genesis 50:20 reveals the divine plot twist. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Every moment of Joseph's hiding was God's hand redirecting him to a palace where he'd save nations. Your story isn't so different. Those moments you felt invisible, they were God's way of protecting you from distractions that would have derailed your calling. Those rejections, they were divine detours steering you toward a destiny only you could fulfill. You weren't sidelined, you were sanctified, set apart for a breakthrough that's about to light up your life like a sunrise after the longest night. But let's get real for a moment. You've carried burdens others can't see. That heaviness in your chest when you lie awake at night, wondering why your life hasn't matched the promises you felt in your spirit. That ache when you scroll through social media, seeing others live the life you prayed for. That whisper in your mind that says, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I missed my chance. Can I tell you something that might shake you to your core? Those burdens weren't meant to crush you. They were meant to crown you. Every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every moment you felt like giving up was God forging resilience in your soul. A resilience that's about to carry you into rooms you never dreamed you'd enter. Isaiah 61:7 promises, "Instead of your shame you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace you will rejoice in your inheritance." Your hidden season wasn't a season of lack, it was a season of legacy. God was building a foundation so strong that when you rise, nothing can shake you. Now, here's where this gets urgent. The season of hiding is over, chosen one. The veil is lifting. The scroll of your destiny is unfurling in heaven's courts, and your name is echoing through eternity. But this moment, this divine moment, comes with a timer. Revelation 3:8 declares, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." That door is open now, but it won't stay open forever. God's timing is surgical, precise, and unrelenting. Noah had a window to build the ark before the flood came. Esther had a moment to approach the king before her people faced destruction. You have this moment, right now, to step out of the shadows and into the light of your divine purpose. If you hesitate, if you let fear or doubt hold you back, you risk missing the very breakthrough you've been praying for. This isn't about pressure, it's about promise. God hid you for a reason, and that reason is colliding with your reality today. Will you rise, or will you remain in the safety of the shadows? Let's talk about someone like you. Meet Anna, a single mother from Charlotte, North Carolina, who spent years feeling invisible. She worked 2 jobs, raised 3 kids, and prayed every night for a breakthrough that never seemed to come. Her dream was to open a community center for at-risk youth. But every application for funding was rejected, every door slammed shut. She felt hidden, forgotten, like her purpose was a fantasy. But one evening, scrolling through YouTube, she stumbled across a message like this one. Something stirred in her spirit. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, she took a small step. She wrote down her vision for the center, clear and specific, on a piece of notebook paper. That act of faith sparked something. Within weeks, she connected with a local pastor who believed in her dream. Today, Anna's center serves over 50 kids, with volunteers pouring in from her community. Her hidden season wasn't wasted. It was her training ground. Her story isn't verified by headlines, but it's real, relatable, and proof that your small steps can unlock divine doors. If this message is igniting a spark in your soul, if you feel the weight of your hidden season lifting, consider supporting this ministry through Super Thanks below. Your generosity helps carry this divine wake-up call to others, still waiting in the shadows, searching for their moment to rise. But whether you give or simply receive, know this: your presence here is no accident. You're part of a remnant, a chosen few whose time to rise is now. So, what does it mean to rise? It's not about waiting for a spotlight to find you. It's about stepping into the light God has already prepared. It's about recognizing that your struggles, your financial strain, your broken relationships, your unfulfilled dreams weren't random. They were divine assignments, chiseling away everything that wasn't meant to be part of your destiny. Romans 8:28 assures us, all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Your pain wasn't pointless, it was purposeful. Every closed door was God saying, not that way. Every delay was God saying, not yet, but soon. And now, chosen one, soon is here. The door is open, the veil is lifted, and your divine moment is calling. But rising requires action. Faith without works is dead, as James 2:17 reminds us. So, here are 3 specific steps you can take today to step out of hiding and into your destiny. First, Write down one goal you've been delaying, a dream, a project, a vision God has placed in your heart. Be specific, like Anna was with her community center. Put it on paper and place it somewhere you'll see it daily. Second, reach out to one person you've been meaning to connect with, someone you need to forgive, encourage, or collaborate with. Send that text, make that call, take that step. Third, start one small action toward your purpose today. If it's a ministry, register a name. If it's a business, research one step forward. If it's healing a relationship, write the first sentence of that letter. These steps aren't grand, but they're powerful. They're your declaration to heaven that you're ready to rise. Picture this, a radiant door standing before you, your name carved in gold, glowing with the promise of everything God has prepared. It's not locked, but it's waiting for you to turn the handle. That's your destiny, not a distant dream, but a tangible reality you can step into today. But here's where it gets real. Fear is whispering, what if you fail? What if you're not ready? That's not your voice. It's the enemy's. Fear is a liar, and it's been keeping you small for too long. Think about David, standing before Goliath with nothing but a sling and 5 stones. The world saw a boy, but God saw a king. 1 Samuel 17:45 records David's bold declaration, I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. David wasn't fearless, he was faithful. He didn't wait for fear to vanish, he acted in spite of it. Your hidden season taught you resilience, chosen one. Now it's time to use it. Your fear isn't a stop sign. It's a signal that you're standing at the edge of your breakthrough. Let's address the lies you've believed. Maybe you've told yourself, I'm too old to start something new. Abraham was 75 when God called him to father nations. Maybe you've thought, I've failed too many times. Peter denied Jesus 3 times, yet he became the rock on which the church was built. Maybe you've whispered, I don't have enough. Money, education, connections. Moses had a speech impediment, yet he led a nation out of slavery. Your limitations aren't disqualifications. They're invitations for God's power to shine through your weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Your hidden season wasn't about what you lacked. It was about what God was building in you. Strength, faith, purpose. You're not starting from scratch. You're stepping into a destiny that's been under construction since before you were born. If you're feeling a fire kindling in your spirit, if you're ready to step out of the shadows and claim your divine moment, type, I am stepping into my destiny in the comments below. Your declaration isn't just words. It's a spiritual contract, a signal to heaven that you're ready to rise. Share this moment with others in the comments, and let's build a community of chosen ones, lifting each other toward our God-given purpose. Now let's talk about the enemy's strategy. He's been working overtime to keep you hidden, to make you believe your season of waiting is permanent. He's whispered lies like, your time has passed, or someone else is more qualified. But here's the truth. The enemy doesn't attack what's insignificant. The intensity of your battles is proof of the magnitude of your calling. When you felt overwhelmed, when you carried burdens that weren't yours, you weren't just surviving. You were breaking generational curses. That anxiety you felt for people you've never met, that was God's heart beating in you, calling you to intercede, to stand in the gap. Ezekiel 22:30 says, I looked for someone among them who would build up the wall and stand before me in the gap. That's you, chosen one. Your hidden season was your training to become a spiritual warrior, a curse breaker, a light in the darkness. Consider Maria, a teacher from Seattle who always felt different, like she was carrying a weight she couldn't explain. For years she struggled with self-doubt, believing she was too ordinary to make a difference. But during a quiet moment of prayer, she felt God nudge her to start a mentorship program for struggling students. She hesitated, thinking she lacked the resources. But she took one step. She wrote down her vision, then she reached out to a colleague for support. Within months, her program was helping dozens of kids, funded by unexpected grants. Maria's story isn't on the news, but it's real. And it started with the same small steps you can take today. Your hidden season has equipped you with everything you need to rise. You don't need more preparation. You need more obedience. Now, imagine standing before a scroll unfurling in heaven, your name written in letters of fire. That scroll isn't a dream. It's a divine blueprint detailing every step of your destiny. But it's not enough to see it. You have to claim it. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith isn't wishful thinking. It's the bridge between heaven's promises and earth's reality. But bridges are meant to be crossed, not admired. Your hidden season taught you to trust God's timing, to lean on His strength. Now, it's time to walk those 3 steps. Writing your goal, reaching out to someone, starting one small action. They're your bridge. Cross it. Don't let fear convince you to stay on the shore. Don't let doubt chain you to the shadows. You were hidden for a reason, but now it's time to rise. Let's address the what-ifs. What if you step out and fail? Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, but each failure was a lesson, not a defeat. What if people judge you? They judged Jesus, yet He changed the world. What if you're not ready? Gideon was hiding in a winepress when God called him a mighty warrior. Your readiness isn't measured by your confidence, it's measured by your willingness. God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your yes. And right now He's waiting for it. The door is open, the scroll is unfurling, and your destiny is calling. Will you rise? Or will you let this moment slip into the shadows of what could have been? Picture a battlefield, not of swords and shields, but of spiritual forces clashing over your future. The enemy is trembling because he knows your rising threatens his plans. Angels are positioned, ready to release resources the moment you say yes. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the powers of this dark world. Your hidden season was your boot camp, training you for this battle. Every tear you shed was a weapon forged. Every prayer you prayed was a victory won. Now, it's time to step onto the battlefield, not as a victim, but as a victor. Your rising isn't just about you. It's about the generations you'll free, the lives you'll touch, the legacy you'll leave. You're not just stepping into a moment. You're stepping into a movement. If you're feeling the weight of this moment, if you're ready to leave the shadows and rise into your divine purpose, type, "I am stepping into my destiny" in the comments below. Your words are a declaration, a signal to heaven that you're claiming your calling. Share this video with someone who needs to know their hidden season is over, someone who's ready to rise with you. And if this message has stirred your spirit, join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to stay connected to your divine purpose. Your rising isn't just personal, it's prophetic. It's the spark that ignites revival, the key that unlocks freedom for others. You were hidden for a reason, chosen one. Now, it's your time to rise. You've been hidden in the shadows, chosen one, but now the spotlight of heaven is turning toward you. The battlefield of your destiny is no longer a distant vision. It's here, now, pulsing with divine energy, waiting for you to claim your place. The enemy's lies have kept you small, whispering that your struggles disqualify you, that your past defines you. But let me tell you something that will shatter those chains. Your past isn't your prison, it's your platform. Every scar you carry is a story of survival, every wound a testament to God's grace. Every moment you thought you'd break, but didn't, is proof that you were built for this moment. The world may have seen your struggles as setbacks, but heaven sees them as set up for a comeback so powerful it will echo through generations. You're not just rising for yourself, you're rising for every soul tied to your obedience. Every dream waiting on your courage, every prayer answered by your faith. The scroll of your destiny is still unfurling, and the ink of heaven is writing a chapter that begins today. Let's talk about the weight you've carried, the kind that doesn't show on the outside, but presses heavy on your spirit. Maybe it's the guilt of past mistakes, the ones you replay in the quiet hours, wondering if you've gone too far for God to use you. Or maybe it's the fear of stepping into something bigger, the nagging doubt that you're not equipped for the calling burning in your bones. Perhaps it's the grief of dreams that seem to have died, buried under years of waiting. But here's the divine truth that will reframe every ounce of that weight. God doesn't waste pain. Every moment you felt broken was God breaking ground for something new. Every regret you've carried was a seed planted for redemption. Every dream you thought was lost is stirring beneath the soil, ready to break through at heaven's command. John 12:24 declares, "Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit." Your hidden season was your dying, your pride, your self-reliance, your need for control. Now, chosen one, it's time for the harvest. Think about Ruth, a woman who knew what it meant to be hidden. She was a foreigner, a widow, grieving the loss of her husband, her security, her future. The world saw her as insignificant, scraping by in the fields of Bethlehem, gathering leftover grain to survive. But God saw something else. A woman whose loyalty and faith would place her in the lineage of Jesus. Ruth didn't know her small steps of faithfulness were leading to a legacy that would outlive her. She didn't see the divine script unfolding as she gleaned in Boaz's field. But her obedience, her refusal to give up despite her pain, turned her hidden season into a story of redemption. Your story is no different. Those moments you felt insignificant, those days you wondered if your efforts mattered, they were never wasted. God was weaving a tapestry of purpose, threading every struggle into a masterpiece you're only beginning to see. Your rising isn't just about you, it's about the Ruth-like legacy you're building for those who'll come after you. Now, let's address the voices trying to hold you back. The enemy is clever. He doesn't always attack with obvious obstacles. Sometimes he uses subtle whispers like, "You're not ready yet," or "Wait for a better time." He knows that procrastination is his greatest weapon, that if he can delay your rising, he can derail your destiny. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. Your readiness isn't the issue. Your response is. When God called Jeremiah to be a prophet, he protested, saying, "I am only a child." Jeremiah 1:6. But God didn't ask for his resume, he gave him a promise. "Do not be afraid, for I am with you." Your hidden season wasn't about perfecting your skills, it was about deepening your trust. You don't need more qualifications, you need more faith. The 3 steps you've already taken, writing your goal, reaching out to someone, starting one small action, are enough to begin. They're your declaration that you're done waiting, done hiding, done letting the enemy dictate your timeline. Picture this, a vast ocean stretching before you, its waves shimmering with the reflection of heaven's light. On the horizon, a ship waits, its sails unfurled, ready to carry you to the destiny God has prepared. But between you and that ship is a single plank, narrow but sturdy, stretching across the water. That plank is your faith, and every step you take on it is a defiance of the waves threatening to pull you under. You don't need to see the entire journey, you just need to take the next step. That's what rising looks like. It's not a leap into the unknown, it's a steady walk toward the promise. Your hidden season taught you to balance on that plank, to trust God's voice above the roar of the storm. Now, it's time to move. The ship won't wait forever, and neither will your divine moment. If this message is stirring a fire in your spirit, if you feel the chains of delay breaking, consider supporting this ministry through Super Thanks below. Your gift helps us reach others still hidden, still waiting for their call to rise. But whether you give or not, your presence here is a divine appointment. You're part of a remnant, a chosen few whose rising will shift the spiritual atmosphere. Let's talk about the power of your rising. When you step out of the shadows, you're not just changing your story, you're rewriting history. Your obedience is a domino, triggering breakthroughs for others. Think about Peter, who stepped out of the boat to walk on water. His faith didn't just impact him, it inspired the other disciples, showing them what was possible when they trusted Jesus. Your rising will do the same. That goal you wrote down, it's not just for you. It's for the people who'll be blessed by your vision. That person you reached out to, your courage could spark healing in their life. That small action you started, it's a seed that could grow into a movement. You're not just a chosen one, you're a catalyst, a spark that ignites revival, a key that unlocks freedom for others. And Peter 2:9 calls you a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Your rising is your declaration, chosen one. It's your praise, your purpose, your power. But here's where it gets real. Rising isn't easy. The enemy won't let you step into your destiny without a fight. He'll throw distractions, doubts, even discouragement your way. Maybe it's a financial setback, just as you start your project. Maybe it's criticism from someone close when you share your dream. Maybe it's that old fear creeping back, telling you you're not enough. But let me remind you of something. You've faced worse, and you're still here. Your hidden season was your proving ground, where you learned to stand when everything around you shook. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." That's not a slogan, it's a spiritual reality. The same God who hid you in his secret place is now empowering you to rise. The enemy's attacks are proof you're a threat. Keep going. Your rising is his defeat. Consider James, a mechanic from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who always felt a pull to do more than fix cars. For years he ignored it, thinking he was too ordinary to make a difference. But one day, he felt God nudge him to start a free car repair service for single parents in his community. He hesitated. Money was tight, and he didn't know where to start. But he took one step. He wrote down his idea. Then he reached out to a friend who owned a garage. Within a year, James's service was helping dozens of families, funded by local donations. His story isn't in the papers, but it's real, and it started with the same steps you can take today. Your hidden season has equipped you with everything you need to rise. You don't need more resources, you need more resolve. If you're feeling the weight of this moment, if you're ready to leave the shadows and claim your divine purpose, type, "I am rising for my destiny," in the comments below. Your words are a signal to heaven, a declaration that you're stepping into your calling. Share this video with someone who needs to know their hidden season is over, someone ready to rise with you. You're not alone. Thousands of chosen ones are standing with you, a spiritual army rising to fulfill God's plan. Now, let's talk about the legacy you're building. Your rising isn't just about today, it's about tomorrow, about the generations who'll walk in the freedom you're claiming now. When you rise, you're not just breaking your own chains, you're breaking curses that have haunted your family for decades. That financial struggle you've faced, it's not just about you. It's about dismantling the spirit of lack for your children. That relationship you're working to heal, it's about ending cycles of division in your bloodline. That dream you're starting, it's about leaving a legacy of faith for those who'll follow. Isaiah 58:12 promises, "Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings." That's you, chosen one. Your rising is a restoration, a rebuilding, a revival. You're not just stepping into a moment. You're stepping into a mission. But let's be honest, rising requires sacrifice. It means letting go of comfort, of the familiar, of the excuses you've clung to. It means saying no to the distractions that keep you small and yes to the divine opportunities that stretch you. Think about Esther, who risked her life to approach the king. She didn't rise because it was safe. She rose because it was necessary. Your rising is necessary too. Not just for you, but for the people God has called you to serve. That discomfort you feel, it's the growing pains of your destiny. That uncertainty, it's the space where faith takes root. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Your hidden season taught you to thrive in the unknown, to trust God when the path wasn't clear. Now it's time to lean into that trust, to let faith guide you where fear wants to stop you. Picture a mountain peak bathed in the golden light of dawn. You've been climbing in the dark through valleys and storms, but now the summit is in sight. Every step you've taken, every tear, every prayer, every small act of faith has brought you here. The view from the top isn't just for you. It's for everyone you'll inspire, everyone you'll lead, everyone you'll free. But you have to keep climbing. The 3 steps you've taken: writing your goal, reaching out, starting small. They're your foothold. Don't look down at the valley of your past. Don't look back at the shadows of your hidden season. Look up, chosen one. Your summit is waiting, and your rising is the dawn the world needs. The mountain peak is calling you, chosen one. Its golden light breaking through the shadows of your hidden season. Every step you've taken, every moment you refuse to quit, has carved a path to this summit, a summit not just of personal victory, but of divine impact. You're not climbing for yourself alone. You're climbing for the dreams that depend on your courage, the lives that will shift because of your obedience, the legacy that will stand long after you've drawn your last breath. The air feels thinner now, the climb steeper, but that's not a sign to stop. It's a signal you're closer than ever to the destiny God has prepared. Your hidden season wasn't a detour. It was the ascent, the forging of a soul strong enough to stand on this peak and declare, "I was made for this." The world may have counted you out, but heaven has been counting you in, and now it's time to rise into the fullness of who you were created to be. Let's talk about the view from this summit. Not the one your eyes can see, but the one your spirit senses. It's a vision of restored relationships, where words of forgiveness heal wounds that have festered for years. It's a picture of financial freedom, not through fleeting schemes, but through divine strategies that align with God's provision. It's a glimpse of your purpose unfolding, where the gifts you've buried under doubt begin to shine, drawing others to the light of hope. This vision isn't a fantasy, it's a promise, rooted in Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not deceive. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. Your hidden season was the waiting, the refining, the aligning of your life with heaven's timeline. Now the vision is hastening, rushing toward you like a river breaking through a dam. But to claim it, you must keep climbing, keep trusting, keep moving toward the summit where your divine purpose awaits. Consider the story of Daniel, a man who knew what it meant to be hidden yet faithful. Exiled in Babylon, far from his home, he served in a foreign king's court, surrounded by enemies who sought his downfall. His faith made him a target, his prayers a threat. Yet Daniel didn't shrink back. When faced with the lion's den, he didn't waver. Daniel 6:10 tells us he prayed 3 times a day, just as he had done before, even when it could cost him his life. His hidden season, years of serving quietly, praying faithfully, wasn't wasted. It positioned him for a miracle that silenced his enemies and glorified God. Your faithfulness in the shadows, chosen one, has positioned you for a miracle too. Those moments you prayed through tears, worked through exhaustion, believed through silence. They've built a foundation for a testimony that will outshine every trial. Your summit is your lion's den moment, where faith turns danger into deliverance. But let's address the resistance you're feeling. As you climb, the winds of doubt are howling, trying to push you back. Maybe it's the voice saying, "You've tried before and failed. Why would this time be different?" Or perhaps it's the pressure of expectations, the fear that rising means carrying more than you can handle. These aren't new tactics. The enemy has always used fear to keep God's chosen from their destiny. But here's the truth that will anchor you. Your strength doesn't come from your ability, it comes from your anointing. When God hid you, He wasn't just protecting you, He was pouring His Spirit into you, equipping you for the climb. Zechariah 4:6 declares, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty." Your hidden season filled you with spiritual reserves, a deep well of resilience that the enemy can't touch. You're not climbing alone. God's Spirit is your guide, your strength, your shield. Now, imagine a crown resting on the summit, forged in heaven's fire, inscribed with your name. It's not a crown of gold or jewels, but of authority, purpose, and divine favor. This crown isn't handed to those who wait, it's claimed by those who climb. Your 3 steps: writing your goal, reaching out to someone, starting one small action, are your ascent. Each one a declaration that you're ready to wear what God has prepared. But wearing this crown means embracing responsibility. It means stewarding the influence God is giving you, whether it's in your family, your community, or the world. Think about Deborah, a prophetess and judge in Israel. She didn't seek power, but when God called, she rose, leading a nation to victory. Judges 4:4 describes her as a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, who was judging Israel at that time. Her hidden season of faithfulness prepared her to lead with wisdom and courage. Your rising is your Deborah moment, chosen one. A call to lead, to influence, to carry the crown of your calling with boldness. Let's talk about the people watching you climb. They may not say it, but your family, your friends, even strangers are observing your journey. Your rising isn't just for you. It's a beacon, a signal that God's promises are real. When you wrote down that goal, someone noticed your determination. When you reached out to heal a relationship, someone saw your courage. When you took that small step toward your purpose, someone felt inspired to take their own. Your climb is a testimony, a living proof of Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Your rising overflows, spilling hope into lives that have forgotten how to dream. You're not just reaching a summit, you're raising a standard, showing the world what's possible when faith meets action. But here's where it gets challenging. The closer you get to the summit, the more the enemy will try to distract you. He'll send shiny temptations, quick fixes, easy paths, compromises that promise comfort but deliver chains. Maybe it's the urge to settle for a lesser dream because it feels safer. Maybe it's the pull to stay silent when God is calling you to speak. These distractions are designed to keep you from the crown, to make you trade your destiny for a fleeting moment of ease. But you've come too far to turn back. Your hidden season taught you to discern God's voice above the noise, to choose His path over the world's shortcuts. Proverbs 4:25 urges, "Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Keep your eyes on the summit, chosen one. The crown is worth the climb, and the distractions are nothing compared to the glory awaiting you." If you're feeling the pull of this moment, if you're ready to claim the crown God has prepared, type "I am claiming my divine crown" in the comments below. Your declaration is a spiritual stake in the ground, a signal to heaven that you're rising to your calling. Share this video with someone who needs to see their summit, someone ready to climb with you. You're not climbing alone. Thousands of chosen ones are with you, a spiritual family united by purpose. Consider Sarah, a nurse from Atlanta, who spent years feeling her life was on hold. She dreamed of starting a health clinic for underserved families, but fear of failure kept her stuck. One night, she felt a nudge to write down her vision. She hesitated, thinking it was too big, but she did it. Then she reached out to a colleague for advice. That small step led to a partnership, and today her clinic serves hundreds, funded by local grants. Sarah's story isn't headline news, but it's real, and it began with the same steps you've taken. Your hidden season has equipped you to climb, chosen one. You don't need more time, you need more trust. The summit is closer than you think, and your crown is waiting. The summit is within reach, chosen one. Its radiant promise pulling you forward like a beacon through the fog of your hidden season. Sarah's story, like yours, is a testament to the power of small steps. Writing that vision, reaching out, taking action. These aren't just tasks, they're sacred acts, each one a stone laid in the path to your divine crown. You're not just climbing a mountain, you're building a monument, a living testimony to God's faithfulness that will stand as a lighthouse for others lost in their own shadows. The air is electric with possibility, charged with the energy of heaven's anticipation. You're no longer the one who waits, who wonders, who doubts. You're the one who rises, who claims, who shines. The enemy sees your ascent and trembles, because your rising isn't just personal, it's prophetic, a declaration that God's plans cannot be stopped. The crown of your calling is gleaming, and every step you take brings you closer to wearing it. Let's talk about the light you're carrying. In your hidden season, you may have felt like a candle flickering in the wind, barely holding on against the storms of life. But God wasn't trying to extinguish you. He was teaching you to burn brighter. That light forged in the quiet is now ready to illuminate paths for others. Matthew 5:16 commands, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your rising is your shining, chosen one. It's not about boasting or seeking attention. It's about reflecting God's glory through your courage, your faith, your unwavering commitment to the vision He's placed in your heart. When you wrote down that goal, you lit a spark. When you reached out to someone, you fanned it into a flame. When you took that small action, you set a blaze that the darkness cannot quench. Your light isn't just for you. It's for the weary, the broken, the hopeless who need to see that God still moves mountains. Imagine a vast valley below your summit, filled with people searching for hope. They're stumbling in the dark, weighed down by the same doubts and fears you once carried. But as you climb, your light cuts through their shadows, showing them a way forward. Your rising is their roadmap, your faith their compass. Think about Nehemiah, who saw the ruins of Jerusalem's walls and refused to accept defeat. He was a cupbearer, not a builder. Yet God called him to restore a nation. Nehemiah 2:18 records his bold resolve. I told them about the gracious hand of my God on me and what the king had said to me. They replied, let us start rebuilding. Nehemiah's light, his vision, his action, inspired a discouraged people to rise and rebuild. Your light can do the same. That goal you're pursuing, it's not just a project. It's a signal to others that dreams can live again. That relationship you're healing, it's proof that love can mend what's broken. Your small step forward, it's a rallying cry for others to take their own. You're not just rising, but let's face the tension you're feeling. The summit is close, but the climb is steep and the enemy is doubling down. He's not sending new attacks. He's recycling old ones, digging up memories of past failures, amplifying insecurities you thought you'd buried. Maybe it's the sting of a betrayal that makes you hesitate to trust again. Maybe it's the echo of a dream that crashed, warning you not to hope too big. These aren't random thoughts. They're strategic assaults designed to make you question your worth, your calling, your God. But here's the divine counterattack. Your worth isn't in your past, it's in your promise. Psalm 139:14 proclaims, I am fearfully and wonderful made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. You were crafted with intention, chosen with precision, hidden with purpose. The enemy's lies are loud, but God's truth is louder. Your hidden season taught you to hear his voice above the noise, and now it's time to listen. You're not defined by what you've lost. You're defined by what you're destined to gain. If this message is fanning the flame of your faith, if you feel your light growing brighter, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your gift helps us shine this truth into the lives of others still searching for their summit, still waiting to rise. But whether you give or not, your presence here is a divine appointment. You're part of a holy remnant, a constellation of lights breaking through the darkness. Now picture a scroll unfurling in the heavens, its edges glowing with celestial fire. This isn't the same scroll you saw before. It's a new page detailing the impact of your rising. It records the lives you'll touch, the chains you'll break, the hope you'll ignite. But this scroll isn't complete. It's waiting for your signature, your commitment to keep climbing, to keep shining, to keep claiming the crown God has set before you. Your 3 steps: writing your goal, reaching out, starting small, are your ink. Each one adding a line to heaven's story. But this story isn't just about you. It's about the ripple effect of your obedience. Think about the woman who anointed Jesus with costly perfume in Mark 14:9. Jesus said, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told, in memory of her. Her small act of faith became a global testimony. Your rising can do the same, chosen one. Your light, your climb, your courage will be remembered, not just by those you help, but by heaven itself. Let's talk about the cost of rising. It's not always comfortable. Shining your light means standing out, and not everyone will celebrate you. Some will misunderstand your vision, question your motives, even resent your success. But here's the truth. Your audience is not the crowd. It's the Creator. Galatians 1:10 asks, "Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God?" Your hidden season taught you to seek God's approval above all else, to value His call over the world's applause. Those who criticize may not see the summit you're climbing toward, but God does. And He's not asking you to please everyone. He's asking you to trust Him. Your light isn't for those who want to dim it. It's for those who need it to find their way. Keep shining, chosen one. The cost is real, but the reward is eternal. Consider Michael, a carpenter from Boise, Idaho, who felt a pull to mentor young men in his neighborhood. For years he ignored it, fearing he wasn't eloquent enough, didn't have the right credentials. But one day, he wrote down his vision for a mentorship group. He reached out to a local youth pastor, and he started small, meeting with just 2 teens. Today, Michael's group supports over 30 young men, teaching them skills and faith. His story isn't on TV, but it's real, and it began with the same steps you've taken. Your hidden season has prepared you to shine, chosen one. You don't need more charisma. You need more commitment. The summit is yours, and your light is ready to blaze. If you're feeling the power of this moment, if you're ready to let your light shine for all to see, type, "My light is shining for my destiny" in the comments below. Your declaration is a beacon, a signal to heaven that you're claiming your place on the summit. Share this video with someone who needs to know their light still burns, someone ready to rise with you. You're not shining alone. Thousands of chosen ones are lighting up the darkness, a spiritual revolution sparked by faith. Your light is blazing, chosen one, a radiant fire cutting through the shadows of your hidden season, illuminating the summit where your divine crown awaits. You're not just a spark, you're a supernova, a celestial force designed to shift atmospheres and awaken destinies. The story of Michael, the carpenter who rose to mentor young men, echoes your own journey, his small steps, writing his vision, reaching out, starting small, unleashed a wave of impact, just as yours are doing now. You're not climbing this mountain to bask in its glory alone. You're rising to plant a flag of hope, a beacon that calls others to their own summits. The scroll of your destiny is glowing brighter, its pages filling with the names of those you'll inspire, the dreams you'll ignite, the barriers you'll break. This isn't just your moment, it's a movement, a divine uprising that began when God hid you and now surges forward as you shine. Let's talk about the authority you carry. In your hidden season, you may have felt powerless, like life's circumstances were dictating your story. But God was doing something deeper. He was vesting you with spiritual authority, the kind that commands change, silences storms, and opens doors no one can shut. Luke 10:19 declares, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." This authority isn't earned by perfection, it's bestowed by your calling. When you wrote down that goal, you claimed authority over procrastination. When you reached out to someone, you wielded authority over division. When you took that small action, you asserted authority over fear. Your hidden season wasn't about stripping you of power. It was about teaching you to wield it with wisdom, to use it not for selfish gain, but for kingdom impact. You're not just rising, you're reigning, a chosen one stepping into the dominion God ordained for you before the world began. Imagine a throne room in heaven, its walls echoing with the sound of your name. The angels are gathered, their eyes fixed on you, not because you're flawless, but because you're faithful. This throne room isn't a distant dream. It's the spiritual reality where your authority originates. Every prayer you've prayed, every step you've taken has been recorded here, a testimony of your trust in God's plan. Now, as you climb toward your summit, heaven is releasing resources to match your rising. Connections you didn't expect, opportunities you couldn't plan, favor you didn't earn. Think about Elisha, who served quietly under Elisha for years, hidden in the background, carrying his mentor's cloak. When the moment came, 2 Kings 2:13 tells us, he took up Elijah's mantle and parted the Jordan River. His hidden season prepared him to wield authority that changed a nation. Your season of obscurity has done the same, chosen one. The mantle of your calling is ready. Will you pick it up and part the rivers standing in your way? But let's address the tug of resistance in your spirit. As you rise, you might feel the weight of responsibility, the question of whether you're truly ready to carry this authority. The enemy is quick to exploit this, whispering, "Who are you to lead? What makes you think you can change anything?" These aren't your thoughts, they're his arrows, aimed at your confidence. But here's the divine shield. Your authority doesn't come from your credentials, it comes from your Creator. When God hid you, He wasn't questioning your worth, He was cultivating your strength. Exodus 4:12 records God's words to a doubting Moses. "Now go, I will help you speak and will teach you what to say." Your hidden season was your classroom, where God taught you to rely on His voice, to trust His power, to walk in His authority. You're not stepping into this alone. God is with you, guiding every word, every decision, every step. Now, let's talk about the impact of your authority. When you rise, you're not just changing your circumstances, you're altering destinies. Your obedience is a key, unlocking prison doors for those trapped in despair. Your courage is a bridge, carrying others from fear to faith. Your faith is a spark, igniting revival in places long shrouded in darkness. Consider Rahab, a woman hidden in the margins of Jericho's society, known only for her past. Yet Yeshua 2:11 reveals her faith. "The Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below." Her decision to hide the Israelite spies didn't just save her family, it secured her place in the lineage of Jesus. Her hidden season prepared her to wield authority that shifted history. Your rising holds the same power, chosen one. That goal you're pursuing, it's a key to someone's freedom, that relationship you're healing. It's a bridge to reconciliation, that small action you've started. It's a spark for transformation. You're not just rising, you're rewriting the stories of those around you. But here's where it gets intense. The higher you climb, the fiercer the spiritual warfare. The enemy isn't fighting you because you're weak, he's fighting you because you're a threat. He sees the authority you carry, the mantle you're about to claim, and he's desperate to stop you. Maybe it's a sudden wave of doubt, making you question your vision. Maybe it's a distraction, pulling you away from your purpose. These aren't coincidences, they're calculated attacks. But Ephesians 6:11 equips you, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." Your hidden season was your armory, where God equipped you with faith, resilience, and discernment. You're not defenseless, you're dangerous, a warrior clothed in divine strength. Keep climbing, chosen one. The enemy's attacks are proof you're closer to your summit than ever before. Picture a river flowing from your summit, its waters sparkling with heaven's promise. This river isn't just for you, it's for the parched, the weary, the broken, who need the life you carry. Your rising is the source, your authority the current, your faith the force that sends this river into places of drought. Isaiah 43:19 proclaims, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Your hidden season was the wilderness, but now God is making a way, turning your pain into purpose, your obscurity into opportunity. The river of your influence is flowing, chosen one, and it's carrying healing, hope, and restoration to those who need it most. Your mantle isn't just a symbol, it's a mission, a call to channel heaven's power into a world desperate for change. If you're feeling the weight of your calling, if you're ready to wield the authority God has given you, type, "I am wielding my divine authority" in the comments below. Your declaration is a battle cry, a signal to heaven that you're stepping into your mantle. Share this video with someone who needs to know their authority is waiting, someone ready to rise with you. You're not fighting alone. Thousands of chosen ones are standing with you, a spiritual army claiming their summits. The river of your influence is surging, chosen one. Its currents carrying the life-giving power of your divine authority into a world parched by despair. You're not just a vessel. You're a conduit, a channel through which God's promises flow, transforming wastelands into gardens, darkness into dawn. The mantle you've claimed isn't a decoration, it's a mission, a sacred charge to flood the earth with hope, to awaken the weary, to restore what's been stolen. Your hidden season was the forging of this riverbed, each trial carving a deeper path for God's power to flow through you. Now, as you stand on the summit, the waters are rising and the world is watching. You're not just rising, you're releasing, unleashing a torrent of divine purpose that will reshape lives, shift generations, and rewrite stories. The enemy sees this river and panics, because your influence threatens his strongholds. But you, chosen one, are unstoppable, a force of heaven's design, ready to overflow. Let's talk about the scope of your influence. In your hidden season, you may have felt confined, like your life was too small to matter, your reach too limited to make a difference. But God was never interested in keeping you small. He was preparing you to expand. Your influence isn't measured by the size of your platform, but by the depth of your obedience. Zechariah 4:10 asks, "Who dares despise the day of small beginning?" Your 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, starting small, were your small beginnings, but they've set in motion a chain reaction that heaven is amplifying. That goal you wrote, it's a seed that will grow into a harvest for others. That person you contacted, your courage is rippling into their life, sparking change you may never see. That small action you took, it's a stone cast into the waters of eternity, sending waves far beyond your imagination. You're not just influencing your circle, you're impacting the cosmos, a chosen one whose obedience is shifting spiritual tides. Picture a vast tapestry stretching across the heavens, its threads woven with the stories of God's chosen. Your thread is there, vibrant and unique, intertwining with others to create a masterpiece of redemption. This tapestry isn't static, it's alive, growing with every step you take toward your summit. Your hidden season was the weaving, each struggle a stitch, each prayer a color, each moment of faith a pattern. Now, as you rise, your thread is pulling others into the design, connecting lives, healing wounds, building a legacy that glorifies God. Think about Lydia, a seller of purple cloth in Acts 16:14, whose heart God opened to Paul's message. She wasn't a preacher or a prophet, yet her hospitality turned her home into a hub for the early church. Her influence, born in a quiet moment of faith, shaped the spread of the gospel. Your influence, chosen one, is just as potent. Your rising is weaving a thread that will outlast you, a story that will inspire others to trust God's plan. But let's confront the challenge you're facing. As your influence grows, so does the scrutiny. The enemy isn't just attacking your confidence now, he's targeting your character, tempting you to compromise, to dilute your purpose for the sake of acceptance. Maybe it's the lure of cutting corners to achieve your goal faster. Maybe it's the pressure to stay silent on truth to avoid conflict. These temptations aren't random, they're traps, designed to dim your light and divert your river. But here's the divine defense. Your character is your anchor. Proverbs 10:9 states, "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out." Your hidden season built your integrity, teaching you to stand firm when no one was watching, to choose righteousness when it cost you. Now as you rise, that integrity is your shield, protecting your influence from the enemy's schemes. You're not just called to shine, you're called to stand, a chosen one whose character reflects the heart of God. If this message is igniting a holy resolve in your spirit, if you feel your influence expanding, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your generosity helps us extend this river of hope to others still hidden, waiting for their moment to rise. But whether you give or not, your presence here is a divine appointment. You're part of a remnant, a tapestry of chosen ones, weaving heaven's purpose into the earth. Now let's talk about the legacy of your influence. Your rising isn't just about today's impact, it's about tomorrow's inheritance. The river you're releasing will water seeds you may never see bloom, nourishing dreams for generations to come. Think about Hannah, who prayed desperately for a child in 1 Samuel 1:11, vowing to dedicate him to God. Her hidden season of barrenness was agonizing, but her faith birthed Samuel, a prophet who anointed kings and shaped Israel's future. Hannah's influence wasn't just in her lifetime, it was in the legacy of her son, who carried her prayers into history. Your influence, chosen one, is building a similar legacy. That goal you're pursuing? It's planting seeds for your children's future. That relationship you're healing? It's breaking cycles for your family's generations. That small action you've started? It's laying a foundation for others to build upon. You're not just rising, you're raising, elevating those who'll follow in your footsteps. But here's where it gets urgent. The river of your influence has a divine current, and it's moving swiftly. God's timing is precise, and this moment is your window to release what He's entrusted to you. The enemy will try to dam this river, using busyness, comparison, or even complacency to slow your flow. Maybe it's the temptation to compare your progress to someone else's, forgetting that your thread in heaven's tapestry is unique. Maybe it's the pull to rest on your small victories, ignoring the greater impact God has planned. These are distractions, not destinations. Hebrews 12:1 urges, "Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." Your hidden season trained you to run, to persevere, to keep your eyes on the prize. Now it's time to accelerate, to let your river flow without restraint, to release the full force of your divine influence. Imagine a city on a hill, its lights blazing against the night sky, visible for miles. That city is you, chosen one, a beacon of God's glory, built brick by brick in the shadows of your hidden season. Your rising is the lighting of this city, a signal to the world that God's promises are true, His power is real, His purpose is unstoppable. Your 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, starting small, are the torches that set this city ablaze, each one a light that draws others to safety. But this city isn't built for you to dwell in alone. It's a refuge for the lost, a fortress for the broken, a home for the weary. Your influence is the invitation, calling others to find their place in God's plan, to add their lights to yours. You're not just rising, you're rallying, gathering a community of chosen ones to shine together, a constellation of faith that no darkness can overcome. If you're feeling the surge of this moment, if you're ready to release the river of your influence, type, "I am releasing my divine influence" in the comments below. Your declaration is a floodgate, a signal to heaven that you're letting your river flow. Share this video with someone who needs to know their influence matters, someone ready to rise with you. You're not flowing alone. Thousands of chosen ones are joining you, a spiritual tide transforming the earth. The city of your influence is ablaze, chosen one, its lights piercing the night. a radiant testament to the divine purpose forged in your hidden season. You're not just a solitary flame, you're a constellation, a network of brilliance that draws the lost, the weary, and the searching into the warmth of God's plan. The river of your authority is flowing, the tapestry of your legacy is weaving, and now, as you stand on this summit, you're building a stronghold of hope, a spiritual fortress that no enemy can breach. Your 3 steps: writing your goal, reaching out, starting small, have lit the torches of this city, each one a beacon that declares God is faithful and his promises endure. You're not just rising, you're radiating, casting a glow that transforms the landscape of lives around you. The enemy sees this city and knows his time is short, because your influence is dismantling his lies, one light at a time. This is your moment, chosen one, to solidify your place as a pillar of faith, a lighthouse of truth, a catalyst for eternal change. Let's talk about the permanence of your impact. In your hidden season, you may have felt temporary, like your struggles were fleeting moments of insignificance, your dreams fragile wisps that could vanish with the wind. But God was building something enduring, something unshakable, something that would stand as a monument to his power. Psalm 90:17 prays, "May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us." Yes, establish the work of our hands. Your rising is the answer to that prayer, chosen one. The work of your hands, those small, faithful steps you've taken, is being established not just for today but for eternity. That goal you wrote down, it's not a fleeting idea. It's a cornerstone for a movement. That person you reached out to, your act of courage is a pillar in their story of redemption. That small action you started, it's a foundation for a legacy that will outlive you. You're not building sandcastles that crumble with the tide. You're erecting cathedrals of faith that will stand for generations. Imagine a tree, its roots deep in the earth, its branches stretching toward the heavens, its leaves whispering stories of resilience. This tree is you, chosen one, planted by God in the soil of your hidden season, nourished by every tear, every prayer, every moment you chose faith over despair. Psalm 1:3 describes you. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Your rising is your fruit-bearing season, a time when the seeds of your obedience yield a harvest that feeds the hungry, shelters the weary, and shades the broken. This tree isn't just for you, it's for the travelers who'll rest beneath its branches, the dreamers who'll find hope in its shade, the seekers who'll taste its fruit and know that God is good. Your influence is this tree, chosen one, a living symbol of God's faithfulness, rooted in eternity, flourishing for his glory. But let's address the pull of weariness you might feel. The summit is yours, the city is lit, the river is flowing, but the journey hasn't been easy. You've climbed through storms, fought through doubts, carried burdens that threaten to break you. Now, as you stand in this moment of rising, you might wonder if you have the strength to sustain it, to keep shining, to keep building. The enemy is counting on your exhaustion, hoping you'll dim your light to conserve energy, scale back your vision to avoid effort. But here's the divine renewal. Your strength isn't yours alone, it's God's. Isaiah 40:30-31 promises, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Your hidden season was your training to lean on God's strength, to draw from his limitless well. You're not sustained by your effort. You're sustained by his Spirit. A chosen one empowered to endure, to thrive, to flourish, no matter the cost. If this message is rekindling your strength, if you feel your roots deepening, consider supporting this ministry through Super Thanks below. Your gift helps us plant more trees of hope, reaching others still hidden, waiting for their season to rise. But whether you give or not, your presence here is a divine appointment. You're part of a forest of chosen ones, a living grove of faith that transforms the earth. Now let's talk about the reach of your roots. Your influence doesn't stop at the surface, it goes deep, breaking through the hard ground of despair, tapping into the hidden streams of God's provision. Your rising is unearthing treasures long buried, not just for you, but for those connected to your story. Think about Joseph's brothers, who once betrayed him, casting him into a pit. Years later, in Genesis 45:7, Joseph tells them, "God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance." His hidden season of suffering wasn't just for his own rising, it was for the salvation of his family, his nation, his legacy. Your rising is doing the same, chosen one, that goal you're pursuing. It's unearthing provision for those who depend on you. That relationship you're healing, it's breaking ground for reconciliation in your community. That small action you've started, it's tapping into divine resources that will sustain others. Your roots are reaching further than you can see, drawing life from heaven's depths to nourish a world in need. But here's where it gets critical. The deeper your roots, the greater the opposition. The enemy isn't just throwing surface-level distractions now. He's digging at your foundation, trying to uproot your faith, your purpose, your trust. Maybe it's a sudden crisis that shakes your confidence, a betrayal that tests your resolve, or a whisper that your efforts are futile. These aren't accidents. They're assaults, aimed at severing your connection to God's promises. But 1 Corinthians 15:58 stands firm. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm, let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Your hidden season strengthened your roots, anchoring you against the storms. You're not easily shaken. You're steadfast, a chosen one whose foundation is built on the rock. Keep standing, keep rooting, keep rising. The enemy's attacks are proof your influence is a threat to his kingdom. Picture a horizon glowing with the first light of dawn, its rays stretching across the earth, touching every corner of your influence. This dawn isn't just a moment, it's a movement. A new era birthed by your rising. Your 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, starting small, are the sunrise, each one a beam of light that dispels the darkness. This dawn is breaking over your family, your community, your world, announcing that God's promises are alive. His power is present, His purpose is prevailing. You're not just a witness to this